As a pregnant woman, when it comes to giving birth to your baby in a hospital, do not just say, oh, I hate say that they born for there, or I dey see women they give birth to their babies for there, or I just know say that they born for that hospital. No, when it comes to giving birth to your baby as a pregnant woman, it's important you have this vital information about that hospital. It's an important part of your preparation when it comes to giving birth. Shopping, you're happy, you're expectant, all of these things are beautiful. But it's important to also pay attention to what is vital to your delivery, what is vital to you, what is vital to your baby. These are things that are going to determine survival. These are things that are going to determine the outcome of your baby. These things play a very important role when it comes to a woman's survival. So if you're new here, welcome to this channel. This is first time on this channel, we'll talk about health for mothers, for new and expectant moms, and health for babies. If it's something you're interested in, join the family and let's dive right into today's video. When it comes to having vital information about the hospital you're going to be having your baby, is it because you're praying that things should go wrong? No, it is just part of preparation. For instance, you're going to get a pair of jeans. You're asking the vendor, hope this jean will not tear on time. Hope this jean is strong. It's not because you are praying that as you're going, the jean should just tear on your body, right? That's practically what you're doing. You're double checking, you're preparing ahead. You know that on the day of delivery, on your caregiver, and the medical personnel, people are on different pages. So it's important you're carried along, your partner is carried along. If your partner is present, it's important you and your caregiver, you and the medical personnel, you all are on the same page when it comes to having your baby in a hospital. This can be very funny. One time I was having a particular class for pregnant women, and a woman dropped a question. The question was so odd that she was even just gingering. Like, I was not asking her, what kind of hospital do you intend to use for your baby's birth? She was like, she just knows say that they born for there. No, you don't do that. You must have certain information about the hospital. You must have certain information, almost like a backup plan. You must ask them this vital information because it is your body, it's your baby, it is your life we're talking about here. So it's not just one of those random things. It's very important to have this information as a pregnant woman. So when you go for your antenatal, as much as you are dancing, as much as you're meeting new people, you're meeting friends, you're mingling and all of that, you're enjoying your antenatal. It's very important to know what you're doing in that antenatal. Antenatal is not just to dance, eat food, you have a special vendor, you have a regular vendor, you buy your food and all of those things. As much as those things can be fun, it's important to know why you're there for. It's important you have this information about the hospital you'll be choosing for childbirth. If you're a pregnant woman and you're already in your third trimester, by now you should know the mode of delivery you'll be going for, whether it is a vaginal birth or a cesarean section. And if you're choosing the hospital for a cesarean section, maybe I'll make a video on essential things you should ask about the hospital. And if you're going for a vaginal birth, it's important to ask them, what are your options? Are they going to give you pain relief during labor for you to at least have some relief when it comes to giving birth to your child, even though you're going through vaginal birth? For those who want to opt for epidural, ask them. It's not just enough to say, oh, I'm choosing epidural. Ask them about the epidural they've done so far. What is their success rate so far? How often do they do it? You can't compare a hospital or a personnel who has been doing epidural up to like when you are currently in the hospital compared to someone who will tell you, oh, the last time we did epidural in this hospital was about 3 years ago or 5 years ago. So you want to have this information about the hospital. How recent was the procedure done? What is their success rate like? So if you miss having a note when you're writing these things down, it will also go a long way in helping you. So when it comes to your mode of delivery, it's not enough to say, oh, I'm going for a vaginal birth or I'm going for a cesarean section. Ask them about the facility available for both forms of birth. So even if you're going for a vaginal birth, ask them what if there's an emergency during the vaginal birth. What is their backup plan? Because sometimes the woman is adequate for a vaginal birth, but things go wrong and all of a sudden she needs an emergency cesarean section. Ask them what's their backup plan like? What's their emergency response like in delivery? So that you have these questions answered before you go in for delivery. It's not because you are praying for evil things to happen, but there are times a child is born and a newborn needs resuscitation. It's that resuscitation that will make that baby stay alive. So ask them about their emergency care for newborns. Ask them how adequate their care is for newborns. There are instances where a mom will give birth and a newborn needs resuscitation. All of a sudden, everybody's running up and down. They need to go to a hospital. They need to travel to one hospital to go and resuscitate the baby. They need to transfer the mom to somewhere else. So sure you have this information before you go in for your delivery. What the facility to resuscitate the baby, how is it like? Ask these questions. Do not just fold your arms and say, oh, I'm enjoying my antenatal. Ensure you have this vital information about the hospital and about the facility you're going to be using for your childbirth. So let's talk about the things you're going to be bringing for delivery. When it comes to your delivery bag, it can vary from hospital to hospital and sometimes from country to country. For instance, if you're giving birth in Nigeria, you know that you need big bags to pack baby items, to pack your items when you're going to the delivery room. But if you're delivering abroad, oftentimes you just need basic things and the hospital is going to provide the rest based on what your insurance is covering. If you're giving birth in Nigeria, as much as you have what you want to pack in your delivery bag, ensure you get a delivery list from your hospital so that you know what the hospital is particularly demanding for. And if you're giving birth abroad, the same thing. Know what your insurance is covering. Oftentimes you don't need so much for giving birth abroad. Just simple stuff for you and your baby, and you're good to go with it. So the things you're going to be packing your delivery bag can vary from hospital to hospital and from countries to country. And ensure you ask the personnel the things specific to them, the things vital to you. Ask them about costs, especially when you don't have insurance or you're giving birth in a place like our dear country, Nigeria. It's not that delivery, the medical personnel will be saying his own and you will be saying your own, that I never thought it was this expensive. They told you it was so and so amount, and how come all of a sudden? No, have this information before your delivery day. If you're looking for a vaginal birth, ask them for the price. If you're looking for a cesarean section, ask them for the price. Ask them for even emergency care. As much as you're not praying for evil to happen, oftentimes it's better you're over prepared than under prepared. Ensure you're on the same page with your medical personnel. Ensure you're on the same page with the hospital which you'll be using for your childbirth. And even when you've confirmed the price they'll be charging you for delivery, ask them, does it cover your welfare? Does it cover all the tests? Does it cover all the medication? Does it cover all the care you'll be receiving, you and your baby will be receiving during and after childbirth? It's important to have this information so that you know how you're preparing yourself for that day of delivery. Ask them how many persons are allowed to come with you on the delivery day. Sometimes some hospitals will tell you, oh, just maybe like 2 persons or 3 persons. Some people will tell you, oh, you can bring as many persons as you want so long they're in your room. In some hospitals, the rooms could be private, but in some hospitals, the rooms are open. So it depends on how the hospital is designed. Ensure you have those information. So even when you have relatives and friends around, and any of them follow you into the delivery room, because sometimes your partner may want to go into the delivery room, they may want to be with you during your vaginal birth, they may want to be with you during cesarean section. So ask them this information. How many relatives can be around you, and can they allow any of the relative or maybe your partner to follow you into the delivery room? So ask this information so that you're prepared, so that your partner is prepared. If you want a private room, ask them if they have private rooms. If you want an open room, ask them what they have available, and based on your pocket you can decide what you want for you and your baby and on that day of delivery. So when it comes to having your baby, these are very important questions you should ask. So as much as you're going for your antenatal, as much as you're having fun, as much as you're dancing, ensure you have this information. Ensure you're better prepared for your baby, for yourself. Not for that day of delivery, you all must have discussed this things. If it even means having your partner around so that everybody knows what to expect to some extent when it comes to having your baby in a particular facility and on your day of delivery. So I hope this video has been helpful, and I hope to see you in the next video. And until then, bye.